Hey guys, welcome back to Maelstrom Gaming Studios. I'm Craig, and today we're going to talk all of the goodies that was just revealed at Adeptacon here for 10th edition. New Tyranids, new models, new everything. We're going to talk about it. We're going to break down all of the trailers we saw piece by piece, show what Tyranid models we see are coming. As you guys can see, I'm kind of in a different setup. Long story short, we're preparing for a next live stream video, which Connor and I are going to be doing a tier ranking for the Tyranids. So we have to have a different setup where we can sit side by side, see both the monitors and everything all at once. It's a bit janky. If you guys want to see it top down and know how janky it is, it's janky, but it's going to work. So if you want to see live stream of all the new, of a Tyranid tier ranking in Arcs of Omen, that'll be on Tuesday. I'll put the link over here. Tuesday at 3 p.m. U.S. Central Time, and we're just going to hang out, rank some Tyranids, and have fun for that day. Before we dive in, because I am excited, I'm just kind of rambling almost, and I really want to share all the Tyranid stuff. It's awesome. Do like and subscribe to stay up to date to all of our content here at Maelstrom Gaming Studios. Obviously, we're getting hyped for in the next few months. Tyranids are going to be bigger than ever, so we're hoping this channel can just really skyrocket with your support. As well as we do have links below for Etsy shop and Element Games link, channel membership. Thank you, members. We got some of you on the wall. This is what you guys don't see in our battle reports. And yeah, so with all that way, let's dive into today's video. All right, so I'm a little tired because I was up late watching it. I was already tired the day before, had a long day at work. Everything's just going, but we got to talk about this. So there's a few things to cover before we get to the Tyranids. This was, again, the Adeptacon review. All cool models. Nothing that they showed off wasn't cool, and the Beastmen were kind of okay, but we're not going to talk about those. First off, new Lizardmen. Why am I showing you guys this? Because I love Lizardmen. I think they're so cool. I think these models are amazing. I mean, look at those raptors. They're just so cool looking. Big Croxagore, amazing. I don't want to bore you too long, but oh, I'm in love with these things. If the Tyranids weren't coming out at about the same time, I would buy a whole army of these. But I can't do both because my wallet does not allow it. Next, we have to see the grand finale of the Arcs of Omen is the Lion, the second Loyalist Primarch who has returned for Warhammer 40k. He looks awesome. There's not much else to say. He looks awesome. If you guys want to go to Warhammer community to see all the pictures, we're not going to discuss too in depth. I just want to show in case you guys didn't see him, in case you were sleeping on a rock, like he was, kind of. But yeah, that's going to be the last book to Arcs of Omen, is the Lion. He has awoken. He is ready to go. There's also going to be new Terminators. This is part of 10th edition. Again, we're talking about all of this. These guys, as you can see, the side-by-side comparison is just a upscaled, better looking version of the Terminator. I'm so happy they stayed true to the actual design of the original Terminator. They just made him look that much better. And there's really not much else to say beyond it, but it looks great. So, new Terminators, we're happy, happy, happy. All right, so we covered some other stuff. I'm going quick. But 10th edition, so 10th edition is coming. It is towards the end of June. I forget the exact date. It might be like June 23rd, 24th, something around that time is when people have speculated is going to be the launch day. We know now it is Tyranids versus Space Marines. This is exciting. Tyranids have never been a part of the launch for an edition, at least as far as I remember. Maybe they were in 4th or below, before 4th? I don't remember. If they were part of the launch before 5th edition, put in the comments because I don't remember. I didn't start until 5th edition. And I know that was Orcs and Space Marines. So they put out a ton of different videos, all dedicated to the new version of 40k as teasers, not a whole thing. The cinematic trailer and some videos on just the models themselves. So if you want to watch those all in depth, I'm not going to play them here. I don't want to risk any copyright striking, but what we know right now for 10th edition is that the rules are going to be streamlined. They said they still want to emphasize that 40k will still be a tactical game, but they're going to cut down on the rules bloat and see if there are You know, they're going to assess every rule. Is this the best way to do it, or is there a better way they can go about using or implementing this rule? They gave us a snippet of what a data sheet is going to look like. They're now calling them more data cards, but everything you have right here is going to be a card. Sounds like they are going to, at least for initial launch of 10th edition, all of your 9th edition books are going to be void, invalid, whatever, they're done. But thankfully, unlike what happened from 7th, 8th edition, all of the basic rules are free for the data sheets. Everything you're going to get a little card like this, and it's going to tell you what the unit does, and that is it. So that is great to hear that it's going to be free. So looking forward to that. Who knows? We can see, like on this data sheet here, you've got a movement, a toughness, a save, a wound, a leadership, and a OC or a DC. We don't know. Hopefully they just talk about more in the future what that OC/DC is. Obviously we can see here that Ripper Swarms and Termagants can be part of the same unit, potentially, which makes sense for the way the original box of Termagants works, or the current box of Termagants work. But in the profiles we can see that's where the strength and ballistic skill and the attacks and everything like that come into play. They've got abilities, faction keywords. Again, a Termagant is a pretty basic unit when it comes to special rules and stuff, but still, we can see what a data sheet looks like. So that's exciting. I really do like the idea of the rules coming back to streamline. I know that's what they said, the 7th and 8th they got streamlined, and then once they got to 9th, they got more and more bloated, and they sort of, you know, they are where they are. They haven't really fallen back yet. We'll see if they stay like this. Who knows for sure? They mentioned codexes will be coming up, so Tyranid players, we're not going to have to deal with the index life very long. We're going to have a codex very soon. To what that entails and everything, we're going to find out, but we're going to be the guinea pigs for it pretty much, which is great. Hopefully it doesn't happen what happens to the Necrons. They did also specify in the article that the codex is not there to increase the power of the data sheets. It's going to be much more simpler what comes with the data sheet. You got your rules, your lore, your art, but your core data sheets are supposed to be staying the same, which is interesting to see how that comes into play. Hopefully we don't have the Necron issue where Necrons came out, ooh, this is really cool, but everything else after it kind of was way better. So maybe we avoided that. So the moment we've really been waiting for, all the new Tyranid models we're going to get. We know one of them right now. So it is the Termagant. We've got it. It's pretty awesome, actually. I'm not going to lie. These things, you can see it. It's quite the glow up. I didn't think Termagants really needed a model update. They weren't on my highest priority, but these new ones just look so good. It's a shame I have 90 of the old ones because it's not going to incentivize me too much to get these new ones. But they look so dang awesome. I'm going to probably have to have 30 of them at least just because. And you know what? 120 guns. Why not? Why not? Yeah, there's a chance these things could be a dual kit between Termagant and Hormagant. It's something I am leaning towards because, well, if I'm looking at the kit, they look dynamic enough to where you just swap the front arms and then call the Hormagant. Maybe you swap the head too. Not sure. That could be the case. I wouldn't bet my house on that. Not that I have a house, but I wouldn't bet everything on it, though I think it could be a good probability. One thing I do notice right away by the side-by-side comparison is that these guys are moving up to 28.5mm bases. Not great for those of us who have hundreds of little gaunts already, but stay tuned to the channel. In about a month, we might be working with something that can solve that solution nice and easy for all of you Tyranid players who will be upgrading the base sizes on your gaunts. I can't say anything more than that, just stay tuned. But yeah, Termagant, he looks awesome. He looks big, mean, bulky, and he's not that big. He's still smaller than a Space Marine. But it looks great. Just absolutely love it. So that's the only model we have confirmed. Now let's speculate on some. These are the next you're going to see are all screenshots taken from the various trailers that GW put out yesterday or Wednesday night at the time of watching this. So let's go through. First one, most obvious one out there. We saw Biovores. You know this is a Biovore. The image on the right shows the Biovore. The image on the left is a lot more blurry, but you can see that smoke trail coming from the top left corner. It's not really smoke, it's just, I don't know, acid, mist, whatever, from the Biovore launching its projectile, and there's 3 of them in a row, so right there, Biovores are, I'm gonna say, confirmed for a new model kit. We then have this little thing. This little thing is a funky looking guy. Part of me originally thought that this was the new Hormigaunt. However, I'm not so sure that's what this thing is. I think this is what was rumored a long time ago, a new Hyper Gaunt, a new variant of Gaunt. It's going to be these little things. They don't have the long tail like a Hormigaunt does. He doesn't have the arms like a Hormigaunt does. This thing runs around on 4 limbs instead of a Hormigaunt runs around on 2. At least from what we know, the Hormigaunt runs around on 2. So I'm going to say it right now. I think this is a brand new Gaunt variant. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Who knows? I bet they are going to be something that's fast, has higher armor save, higher toughness. I bet they're going to be like a 4 armor save, T4 type Gaunt, but they might not hit very well in melee. Just my initial thoughts that that's what these little guys are. Next up, we have this. These things are cool. I think out of all of them, this is the one I'm the second most excited for, are these weird beasts. It's like a combination of a Venomthrope and a Maliceptor, like a halfway between a Venomthrope and a Toxicrin, I guess, really is the best way to put it. If a Malanthrope grew legs and started walking around, all sorts of things. They're feeding on the Space Marines is why I think of Malanthrope, because that's what the Malanthrope kind of does. And it gets information out of their brains and whatnot. But these guys look like goofy, but in a cool way. So I really want these things to be cool, because I'm looking forward to them. We then have what presumed to be our new HQ beastie. This winged beast is not a tyrant, in my opinion. It is different enough to where I think this is going to be that new Shrike or Tyranid Prime. There's rumors that Tyranid Primes are going to get their own standalone kit. I think this might be what it is, or maybe it's a whole new creature in and of itself, but it is big. Obviously, you can see it stands over a Terminator. It is powerful. Any of the spoilers, spoiler, if you're watching this right now, you probably have already seen these, but if you haven't, don't want any spoilers for this. Warning last time. This thing clearly is strong enough to rip a Terminator in half, because he does so in the trailer. It's wings, tail, claws. It's interesting though, because unless they're counting the wings as other limbs, which it must be, I say it's straying away from the 6 limb rule, but you know, it looks cool. I'm not gonna knock anything. It's gonna be another winged beast to add to our collection. We'll now have the Parasite, and then we'll have, we'll go Gargoyle, Parasite, this thing, Flying Hive Tyrant, and Harridan as our winged creature. So great, love it. I think this image is the same creature. I don't know for sure because I can't see any wings on this one, and they don't really show any. This is a very quick snap of something. I think it's the same thing, but I don't know for sure. Maybe it's a non-winged variant of the same creature. As you can see, his claw kind of looks the same. His head kind of looks the same. So maybe it's a non-winged variant of it, but something very cool there. Then we have this one. We have the Screamer Killer getting its own standalone model. Now, for those of you who don't know, maybe I'll put it on the screen as well. I don't have it here. The original Screamer Killer model, the good old like 1990s, you know, he coming in for a hug type of thing. This model is getting his own new update, going to what GW's theme of recreating their old loved models in a newer, brighter form. I think it'll be really cool. I'm not sold on the weird pose of it. Maybe when I see the actual model, it'll make sense. I'm not totally sold on the pose, and I'll be honest. But more than anything, I really, really hope that this stays on a Carnifex base and it's not some like bigger, scarier version of a Carnifex. I don't want it to invalidate all of our old Carnifexes. Hopefully it doesn't, but this one is looking very cool. Just tearing things to shreds, so exciting. We then have new lictors, and now some people might be saying that these are two different models. I think this is a lictor. I've seen some people say that this is a different thing than a lictor. There's also another scene in one of the trailers where I assume this beast is attacking an apothecary. The reason I think it's the same beast is because it has, in the picture on the left, you can see that very unique shape to its claw that's very much a lictor in itself. And then you got its mouth and everything. I assume it's a lictor. Some people have been saying it's a different creature, but I'm sticking with lictor in my gut. And then the picture on the right is the same thing, I'm assuming, just like a he's coming to eat your face type of pose. And finally, we have this behemoth. It looks like a giant neurothrope, but I think, we don't know the size, we can kind of get a glimpse that it's way bigger than a Primaris librarian or a Terminator librarian. We can understand that it's huge, but I just can't help but think that this thing is going to mimic the Silent King 100%. It's going to have these two little guys that float around with it, just like the Silent King has its two little shields floating around with it. Maybe this thing doesn't have the best melee power, but its psychic potential has got to be huge considering it just one-shots a Space Marine librarian, which is not an easy thing to do. My gut is that this model is our Titan. This is going to be our plastic Lord of War that we've been asking for a long time. This is what it is. This thing is going to be, again, I don't know for sure, but my gut is saying this thing is going to be the size of the Silent King. It's not huge. It's not going to be an Imperial Knight. You know, it's smaller than Imperial Knight, but it's cool. Do I wish we kind of had a different thing for our plastic Titan instead of another psychic brain bug? Maybe, but it does look really cool, and I'm hoping whatever structure it's got going on its back pans out to be something pretty cool in the actual model. So that's my gut on the new models. Those are all the new models. Well, new units we're seeing in these trailers. Maybe there's more. Did I miss one? I don't think I missed any. That's all of them. What do you think? Is this thing going to be like our Silent King? Our big monster that is a Lord of War that stands the size of the Silent King? Or is it going to be something smaller? Maybe there's more coming. I'm sure there's more than just this coming. But yeah. So sorry if this was just rambling. I'm really excited. I maybe look tired, and because I am a little bit, but I am so hyped on all of this new Tyranid stuff. I didn't think they would show all of this much yesterday or today or whenever. I thought it would just be one little trailer just to leave us with a little something waiting for next time, but they gave us all. So I'm hyped. This is the best time in the history of 40K to be playing Tyranids. I mean, we had our 8th edition book, which was okay, but then they brought in the supplement with that book to be played into 9th edition. I got it right here. The Warzone Octarius Rising Tide book made Tyranids so good right there. Then that got sort of scrapped, not completely scrapped. But then Crusher Stampede came in, and things were so good. And then, I didn't put it in here, but then we had the Leviathan update, which made things... Oh, wait, no, that is the Leviathan update. Never mind. And we also had the Leviathan as part of that supplement, which was, again, good. Then, they scrapped all that, and I said, here's your 9th edition codex. And it was so powerful at the time. Just an insanely good codex, which I don't want it to be overpowered, but as a Tyranid player, it was a great codex, and it still is. It got nerfed over and over and over, and I am still finding ways to win and win well with this codex, just showing that we have so many tricks up our sleeves. And finally, if you think we're in a bit of a lull, we got 10th edition, baby. All these new Tyranid models are coming out. Range refresh, start from not really ground zero. We will with the rules with ground zero, start from there, but it's just great. The channel has been growing. We are less than 100 away from 5,000 subscribers, which is insane considering it feels like it was just like 3 months ago we were saying, ooh, we're almost to 4,000 subscribers. So we are growing. We have a little live stream channel birthday hoorah next Tuesday to celebrate 2 years of the channel. So if you want to be around for a little celebration, it's just going to be, we're doing our tier ranking 3 o'clock in the afternoon US Central Time. Hopefully that gives enough people. UK, it'll be a night stream for you. If you're in the US, it's in the evening, afternoon. Hopefully you're kind of off work by then or close to it. You work from home, who knows, you can watch it, whatever. But yeah, it's never been a greater time. I'm in love with all these Tyranid stuff. I can't wait to get the models, paint them. Maybe GW, will you give us some stuff? Who knows? That's all we got. I'm excited. Let me know in the comments. Are you guys excited as I am? Thank you to everyone who supports us, getting us to grow to that 5,000 mark. Thank you to our members, plus our troop and reinforcement. Obviously, we'll say everyone's name at the end, but yes, thank you guys. We'll catch you next time here at Maelstrom Games Duos. Hopefully see you in the live stream, and have a great weekend.